This is the honeymoon. The concept behind this is going to give you a new form of horror. The horror that you could never conceive of. This horror will keep you guessing at every turn. The horror of being loved by somebody. And the chances when you leave with that person, you'll never come back. I'm going to read you a quick little bulletin of the murderer himself, of what you may think is a murderer. Somebody will keep you in suspense. This is the honeymoon. Run, run as fast as you can. I'm still going to find you. There's no place you can go. I don't know. I can find you even if you go fast or slow. This is my home. But there's nowhere to help. There's no one to help you, my dear. No one will find you here. This is my home, and I am God in my home. I am king. Did you think you could run from me? Did you really think you could run from what awaits you? Didn't I tell you? You can't run from me. I am God, and you are in my home. Imagine that voice, those words being spoke to you as a husband or as a wife when you're on your honeymoon. We're going to pitch this project to you, and trust me, what's to come, you'll never know. This year is Misty Marie. Misty is a fresh face and up and comer to the movie scene. Misty is looking to break out into the movies even if she has to work for free. Misty is a kind of person that gives it her all in whatever she has done. Misty is a good person and an even better friend. I'm going to tell you something about Misty. Misty has traveled from Houston, Texas for a shoot up into Austin, Texas, and then that morning traveled all the way down to South Texas for a benefit car wash to help a young man get to Australia in high school just to play football. That's the kind of person she is. That's the kind of passion she brings to her art. Misty, I'm telling you right now, she is going to bring it no matter what she has to do. And yes, she's even said she'll run in high heels. Misty Marie Gonzalez. She has many friends in the music industry. She has made friends all over the country from coast to coast. She is always posting updates, keeping her fans up to date about up and coming projects from modeling to car shows to, yes, music videos she is appearing in. Misty's a fresh face that has even been seen in the big that has never been seen in the big screen. And yes, she is very willing to work for little to no pay to help us make this film come to life. I'm telling you right now, this is the perfect lady for the opening scene. She has a passion about herself and she's willing to work. This here, ladies and gentlemen, is Bonnie Ann. Bonnie Ann's credits. Now, get ready. Bonnie Ann has come out on HBO's The Leftovers. She has appeared on From Dusk Till Dawn season 1 and 2. She has done 2 movies in the Corpus Christi called Dread Time Stories and Deviant Behavior. She has appeared in TV spots and, yes, music videos. Bonnie Ann is also a model, car show model. Bonnie Ann has done things that she makes her kids proud. She's a mother too. She knows what it is to keep it PG-13. She knows what it is that we need to do as a company, as a project to make this come true. She's met many a great actors and actresses and directors. She has become friends with the owner of El Rey Network. This here is JR and Bonnie Ann. Here we have the perfect husband and wife combo. What better way to show true love than having a real life husband and wife as our main stars of the movie? That's right, JR and Bonnie Ann are married in life. JR is willing to work for free to help his wife break out on the silver screen. He himself has also appeared on From Dusk Till Dawn as an extra. They are parents of 2 and know the importance of PG-13 ratings. They are going to make the perfect on-screen couple. Let me tell you, JR and Bonnie Ann, JR's been backing her up since day one. JR as not only her manager, but her husband. He loves everything she does. He's backed her up, and this film is nothing different for him. He will back her up from the beginning to the end of the film. He's willing to do what it takes to make his wife's dream come true. This is a perfect couple. They're both willing to make this project come true. They're both willing to work hard. They are the perfect couple. Next, you're going to be hearing from Hannah. Hannah is going to read the part of Misty Marie, and she will bring it to you. Rachel's going to be reading the part of Bonnie Ann. Let me tell you, by the end of this presentation, there's no way that you wouldn't give us the 2 million. Thank you. Enjoy the presentation.
She runs for her life, yelling, calling out for help, but no one is around for miles that can hear her screaming. So she runs into the darkness, not caring if she can see or not, just wanting to get away from the terror that she's hiding from. Imagine. Open your minds to the possibility of being chased. I can smell her fear. Misty. Imagine the terror that Misty is going through, not knowing where she's at or who's telling her these things to run, to hide. Run, run, run. I am God out here. Is this really happening to her, or is this just a bad dream? He can smell her fear. The more she runs, the more she tries to hide. He knows exactly where she's at. Misty runs until she comes upon a cliff. She has nowhere else to go. She contemplates on jumping into the river. But it's too late. He has her by the waist. And he tells her this. He tells her not to move, and he will set her free. If that's what she really wants. She shakes her head yes, and he just laughs and agrees to set her free. Removing his arm from her waist, he reaches back to reveal a hunting knife made of old deer horn. Then he tells her, I promised you are free now. He cuts her throat open. As her blood goes running down the front of her body, he starts to laugh at her. And then he pushes her over the edge, off the cliff into the river. See? I told you, I am God out here. Only I can set you free. She's gone now. The river swept her away. But now, so is he.
Imagine a couple getting married. They walk together, hand in hand, feeling the joy of true happiness as they dance the night away, holding each other ever so tight. The band plays their favorite songs all night long as family and friends eat and drink and just enjoy the happy couple. A the night comes to an end, the husband tells his wife that they are going so far away from the city she may never want to come back, that he will take her into the woods where he used to go as a kid for their honeymoon, and he tells her it's a place you can just get lost, and he tells her once again, trust me, and you may never want to come back. The wife, Nikki, tells him, you know I love the woods, hunting, fishing, and getting away from the world. The next morning, Aaron and Nikki had everything they need as they packed their bags and filled their truck with their belongings. On their way, the radio plays. Officers at the local state trooper's office said a body was found badly beaten by the river, and at this time they cannot make any statements on the case. Stay tuned for your local news station for updates. Nikki gets scared about what she heard on the radio because it sounds like it'd be so close to where they're staying. Aaron asks her if she trusts him, and she replies with, yes, I do. Can we just go now? Once they arrive at the cabin, the body on the radio is forgotten and all seems well. Night falls upon them as they drive. They laugh at each other and start to unpack the truck as it gets darker. Aaron finds the generator and puts fuel into it and starts it up. The light in the cabin comes on, and they collect firewood for their fire. Nikki makes them a dinner as they settle into their cabin. As they sleep, dreaming of their life together and how happy it would be, a shadow appears in the dark. Looking over the cabin as the happy couple sleeps, the shadow walks ever so closer to them, walking upon dead leaves and limbs from the trees around them. But then he's gone. The night gets even colder, and the happy couple, Aaron and Nikki, sleep through the night in the heaven that they call their marriage. The night brings on so much darkness that seeing out past the light is almost impossible. So imagine walking around the woods, or even your own home in the pitch blackness of where you live, bumping into things, and even, well, just your own imagination. The next morning, Nikki starts her day with breakfast and coffee. Hours go by and it seems to be getting longer as Aaron has yet to return from his morning run. Nikki starts to get worried, wondering if whether or not he's playing a joke on her. She calls out for him over and over again, but to no avail. Looking around, she checks to see if her husband is hiding somewhere in the cabin. Then she's grabbed from behind and pulled into the shed. She hears laughter. As she yells out as loud as she can, the laughter stops and she sees Aaron smiling at her and parting his ears. He asks her if she can scream any louder and continues to laugh with a smile on his face as she grabs at her heart to compose herself. He tells her he's sorry he took so long, but he found a hot spring that his parents used to talk about. Then I heard you calling, he says, so I came back to see if you were okay. Nikki replies, you're going to pay for that one. As she walks away, Aaron hears a sound coming from the woods. He can't see anything, so he starts to walk back to the cabin, thinking about how loudly she yelled. But from the heavy brush, there's someone looking back at him, covered in muck from the ground, moving ever so slowly so he won't be found out by Aaron and Nikki. He moves only when the timing is right, so that way neither one of them will see him. He smiles at them with his grimy yellow teeth bleeding from his gums. He lets out a small form of laughter so they can't hear him as he lays on the forest floor. He looks upon them like a rabid animal with his bloodshot eyes and lifts his nose to the air as if smelling for them. He licks his lips and smiles, knowing that they will be next. Then a large vehicle approaches the cabin and stops just by Aaron's truck. It's a state trooper. The trooper asks them how their day is going. Nikki, nervous, asks, is something wrong, and is it something to do with the body that they found? The trooper tries to calm her down by saying, well, whenever something does happen, it's routine to check on all the visitors. Nikki apologizes and didn't mean to be so rude and ungrateful. The trooper is walked back by his car by Aaron, and they thank him for his visit. Once they get back in their cabin, they get their things ready and take them out to the hot springs. They make their way slowly through the forest, taking their time and enjoying each other's company and the woods around them. Once they get to the hot springs, they get into the hot springs and enjoy their time. But in the distance, someone speaks. Look what a happy couple we have here. It's too bad they won't make it out of here. I can smell them. How fun this will be. Then they hear sounds of limbs breaking and leaves crunching. Aaron and Nikki look around but don't see anything. Nikki turns to Aaron and asks him, you heard that, right? Aaron responds to her with, yes, but I didn't see what it was or where it came from. Then the sound of a rock hitting a tree behind Nikki startles her, and they both turn to see what it is. She asks, what's going on? Is someone playing with us? When she turns back around to look at Aaron, she sees a look of shock upon his face and wants him to quit it. But then blood starts to seep from his neck and into the hot spring, and she starts to yell out a blood-curdling scream. The person speaks. No, why do you have to scream like that for? And laughs. Nikki looks at him with a dead stare. The killer asks her why she isn't answering him. This is my world, and you're in my world. I am God, and you have to learn that by now. Sister, I am God here. Nikki replies to him, I'm telling Mom you're playing God again. This was supposed to be fun for me too. The killer replies, no, don't tell Mom, I'm sorry. Next time, you get to have the fun. Nikki looks at him and tells him, next time I get to be God, okay? And they both agree and start to laugh. She replies, I did say I would get him back. Nothing is ever how it seems. One day you're happy with the love of your life, and then the next day she's having you killed by her crazy brother who loves to run through the woods and laugh like a crazy man. Just goes to show you should never prank a crazy woman.